welcome to my shop. I'm Jim in Rock Springs, Wyoming. Thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel, watching this little video. I want to thank all of those who have watched my other videos and who have subscribed to my channel. If you like the video, if you would, simply hit the like, little thumbs up guy down at the bottom of the screen, or subscribe to my channel, and we'll give you some updates when new videos are coming out on a semi-regular basis as topics come to mind. Tonight I'm going to talk about some things at the lathe, and I may challenge some of the things that you've heard in the past by restating them maybe in a different way that'll help. I found YouTube as a great source of information, of course entertainment, but I find that a lot of people now are turning to YouTube for education, how-tos, do-it-yourself projects, all of those kind of things. And I see a lot of great YouTubers out there, great quality videos. Sometimes I run across someone who's doing a project and the things they're doing are just not safe. And to be honest, I get concerned when I see those, because people who are trying to watch, like I have done and maybe you have done, you're looking, you're watching the nuances, and you're watching the details. Tonight I'm going to talk about tool presentation. Now, I'm going to kind of narrow this focus to spindle turning, more particular spindle turning and cutting tools. I'm not going to deal with scrapers, I'm not going to deal with bowls, at least in this video. This is going to be talking about, I guess we could call it tool rest height, but that's the wrong way to look at it. We need to look at tool height, cutting tool height. The tool rest is that which allows us to present our tool to the piece to be turned. For us as wood turners, that height varies. For cutting tools, again not talking about the scrapers, we want to be at or above center when we present the tool. So we have to take into consideration how far down is the handle going to be? How far up is the handle going to be? Are we using a shearing cut, a scraping cut, a roughing cut? What are we doing? Where do we want that cutting action to take place? We have to decide that before we can set our tool rest height. So I'm going to have my granddaughter, who is doing the videos tonight, to tune in a little bit closer, get a good close-up shot. I've just got about a 2.5, 2 3/4 inch spindle blank in here. It's a piece of poplar or something. It was a 4x4 for a packing crate, and now it's a spindle turning. And we're going to look at some things in setting up your tool rest so that it's safe, so that it's efficient, and so that it's consistently done each time. Now, safety in my shop is of utmost concern to me. Safety in your shop, I hope, is of concern to you. Please look at, read, and understand all of the safety features of the things you're going to be using. And a little bit more. We need to be safe when we're turning. These objects are turning at thousands, hundreds, and thousands of RPMs. For the example tonight, the lathe is going to be turning 2,500 RPMs. Alcohol and power tools don't mix. Be careful. And you're going to hear me talk about the ABC. Wood turners, we should know that by heart and share it with everybody else that's trying to pick it up. Anchor first, anchor. Second, bevel. And third, cut. The ABC. So let's zoom in on this spindle and make a little sawdust in a minute after we're ready. Now you're going to notice on this spindle blank, I have the centers marked with 4 lines extending out from the center here. I've also included 2 lines at 180 degrees apart that allow us to see when this blank is centered up. Common practice usually tells us that we want the rest at or a little above center, and that may be true, but it depends on which tool we're going to use. But I also want to share with you, there's another thing you really need to be conscious of. We do typically want our tool rest as close to the work as possible. So let me get my tool rest up here, close to the work. Boy, I'm close there. Now, I'm going to need to make a tenon so I can put this in my chuck. So I get my parting tool out, 1/8 inch parting tool here, and I get ready. But you'll notice my tool is pretty high. However, when I make my anchor and I engage my bevel, you'll notice as I slide this tool down and it begins to get ready to make the cut, there's something you should see. Down here on the edge of this tool, on the very corner, I am getting dangerously close at this intersection of losing tool support. I'm almost at the point of letting the tool slide off the rest. You need to be aware of where your bevel is at on your tool. This tool rest is actually too close for this tool to be used safely. We should move this tool rest back, away a little bit, go back to our anchor, our bevel, and our cut. Now as this tool enters the wood, I'm safe. The angle of the bevel is fully supported by the tool rest. Notice, however, I am way above center with this tool. However, my tool rest, if you'll notice, is on center. So for this tool, I would actually need to be a little below center. Now, anchor, bevel, and cut. Notice here, this tool is down, the handle's down, and the shearing forces are coming down onto the tool, and I'm getting good tool rest contact. Let's go to another one. I'm getting ready to use a 1/2 inch spindle gouge, and I'm going to move my tool rest up. I want to get my tool rest close, remember? Always close to the work as I can get it. And now I'm going to get ready to do some spindle work. Well, I'm engaging just a little above center, which should be really good for my spindle gouge. But notice, once I do the anchor and the bevel, and I prepare for the cut, if you look, because I have swept back this grind, do you see the problem? I'm getting dangerously close to sliding off the tool rest once again. Let's go to one of our favorite spindle turning tools, and that's the spindle roughing gouge. Anchor, bevel, bevel contact, and cut. I'm at a nice, safe distance now, and I have full contact. However, if I move this rest really close to the work, and I try to get in here with a spindle gouge, do you see how close I am to the spindle gouge sliding off of the rest? And this is a robust comfort rest. It's a very popular rest and used by a lot of turners. I think they're the best rest on the market myself, but do you see how that is dangerous? So I encourage you to not only look for where the tool will enter the wood, and that needs to be, for the cutting tools, on the spindle work, at or above the center point. So now we have the roughing gouge, anchor, bevel, cut. We've moved back. We're about 3/8 of an inch or 1/4 to 3/8. Now look, I've got full support and I'm safe. And now I'm ready to engage the wood and make the cut. I want to encourage you also on a spindle gouge, try this. Not only match your bevel here, but turn your tool this way, keeping the bevel contact here and here. And as you work this spindle gouge now, do you notice how the shavings begin to just curl off? When the spindle gouge is presented to wood like this, it's almost in a scraping. If you'll notice, it's trying to tear the fibers. But when I swing that handle back, tuck it into my hip, and present it to the wood, I begin to get nice little curly shavings coming off that spindle gouge. And again, now we'll look at a 1/2 inch detail spindle gouge. You'll notice it's cut back with about a 60-degree grind on the nose, and then I break that angle back. And again, I come over, I'm pretty close to the right height to enter the wood, but if you'll notice, again, I'm a little close to my work. I want to be back to where I've got full tool shank support on my turning tool. Now, I'm presenting my tool to the work, I'm matching the bevel, it's anchor, bevel, and cut. Stay with it. Start making the cut. So what I encourage you to do, instead of trying to get your tool rest perfectly on center, is to step back a little bit and look at where is your tool entering the wood, and adjust your rest so that your tool is entering the wood at or below, at or above, not below, scratch that, at or above that center line. Always practice the anchor, the bevel, and the cut. Always anchor, bevel, cut. And I encourage you to notice the angle of your tool that's ground, and be sure your tool rest is back here, and that as you turn a tool, such as a detail spindle gouge, or a spindle gouge, or even our old trusty bowl gouge, as we're turning that tool and making our cuts, I would encourage you to notice, is that bevel beyond the end of that tool rest, so that you don't run the chance of this tool catching or just slipping off. I hope this has been a little bit helpful and informative to you. Let's take a look real quick. Anchor, bevel, cut. Anchor, bevel, cut. Anchor, bevel, cut. Well, this is Jim in Rock Springs, Wyoming. Thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. Leave likes, leave comments or questions, or if you see something I can improve or add to a future video, let me know. Or maybe there's a topic or a subject maybe you'd like a little different viewpoint on. Be careful, take care, God bless, and safe turning.